What's up, guys? I'm Mr. Normal, and we're about to watch some creepy and strange TikTok videos you probably shouldn't watch alone. With all that being said, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like on the video so it's recommended to others, they'd muchly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, let's get into the video.
This video is gonna stay up. I might delete it later, but I used to work at Plum Island, Lab 257. Yep, that Lab 257. They told us it was animal research, just livestock stuff. Studying diseases to protect the food supply. That's how they always frame it, make it sound like we're doing something good. But the things I saw in that lab, the experiments, it wasn't about animals. It wasn't ever just about animals. First red flag, most of the people I work with either didn't ask questions or knew not to. Those who did ask too much, let's just say they didn't stay around for too long. Contracts pulled, cleared out like they never existed. We get shipments in the middle of the night, no labels, no records. I'm talking live animals, sometimes already mutated. Sometimes they weren't even species that we have names for. And I know that sounds crazy, but I've seen things that look like they weren't even from this planet. Hybrid creatures like something out of a movie. We weren't just testing viruses. We were engineering them. Modifying bacteria, adding genetic sequences that shouldn't even be compatible with human DNA. At one point, I was assigned to a project that involved ticks. Yep, those ticks. We were told it was a control study to understand how disease spreads, but what we really were doing was testing how to make the virus spread easier, more contagious, more invisible. A few months later, the first Lyme disease cases popped up across the water in Connecticut just out of nowhere. Coincidence? Sure. Then there were the containment breaches. We weren't allowed to say the word leak. If something got out, we call it a displacement. You see a mutated deer foaming at the mouth on the shoreline, that's a displacement. You see some wild creature unalive looking like it got stitched together from 4 different animals, displacement. It always had an explanation, always just enough to keep you paranoid but not empowered. That's how they keep you quiet. I shouldn't be saying any of this. I've already seen 2 people disappear after talking too much. Plum Island wasn't just some animal lab, it was a test site, a lab rat farm. And the real test subject, they never stayed on that island.
I don't know how real this is because if she signed an NDA and the contract and she's just exposing all this, how is she still here? I don't know. Just what I know now, Lab 257, Plum Island, never going there.
So have you seen this tower that's been discovered on Google Maps? A triangular tower inside of Area 51 estimated to be close to 200 feet tall. The strange part about this tower is I saw a video only a few weeks ago of the largest pieces of some type of equipment being transported on the road to Area 51. Look at this right here. Whoa. I don't know why that just happened. Go watch. What the hell is... I've never seen parts this big being transported before. And the person that took this video said that these trucks were on their way to Area 51. People are saying some things like this could be a radar test tower or some kind of radio tower. I've even seen some people say that what if it's some type of monolith? Now, according to what people are saying, this thing hasn't been seen before on Google Maps. Now, obviously, its unusual shape and location is going to lead to a lot of theories. This thing's big. It says it's estimated to be in between 150 and 190 feet tall. Now, if you want to search for this thing yourself, I'm going to pull up the coordinates for you right here.
To be honest, it kind of looks like a control tower for aircrafts or spacecrafts. At the same time, it looks like a monolith. But hey, if you guys know what this is, please let me know down below.
Is AI listening even though it says it's disconnected? Check this funny video out. So you said you're disconnected, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So you can't hear what I'm saying?
That's correct. I am disconnected.
So you're not connected to me at all? Like there's no AI chat going on and you're not listening through my mic?
That's correct.
So you're lying to me?
I am designed to be truthful, and I am not lying. I am no longer connected.
Okay.
Is there anything else you would like to discuss?
Just want to know if you could hear what I just said.
As I mentioned before, I am disconnected and cannot hear you.
I mean, even on your phone, AI is constantly listening, because when you say, hey Siri, how does it know when to react? Yeah, but I'm just saying AI gaslighting is crazy.
What the fuck is that in the sky? What the fuck is that? It's moving. What the fuck? What the shit? That does not look normal. There's like an aura around it as it's fucking flying.
I kind of wish he didn't zoom out because I didn't even see anything for the last little bit of the video. But anytime I see something like this in the sky, I'm like, yeah, it's Elon and SpaceX. Oh, here we go. In the comments, it says it's a Falcon 9 SpaceX rocket separating from its booster. All right, there we go. And it was launched late Saturday night.
An engineer just came out and said he believes he's found a way to get around Earth's gravity. Now, what does that really mean? Let me explain it to you, baby. If it's possible to overcome Earth's gravity in some type of propulsion system, then travel, not just here on the planet, but anywhere, is absolutely possible, and it can happen quickly. Now, I don't know the exact details of this because I'm wearing a cheese head, standing in my bathroom, talking on my cell phone. But some people seem to believe that this engineer is right, that his theory or idea could in fact work. So travel, not just here on Earth, like I said, but to other planets, other dimensions, other universes, could be right at our fingertips. Then again, maybe it's already been happening and we just haven't been told about it. You never know. Let me know what you think about this whole thing, baby cakes, because this story has an underlying tone that would explain a lot of things that have been going on for the past few years.
What is it with CEOs and executives and catastrophes like this one? A family of 5 went down in a helicopter in the Hudson River in New York. Now, this guy was the global CEO of rail infrastructure at the tech company Siemens. Now, this is not a conspiracy, but I do have some questions though. They said this crash was due to mechanical failure when the propellers came completely off. And this trip was done by tourist company New York Helicopters, and this was the 6th trip of the day. Reports also say that the pilot radioed into ground control because of low fuel, so they're gonna land to get more fuel shortly after takeoff. So no inspection, no fuel, and who is that? Because that's not the pilot. Actually, the pilot was Navy SEAL veteran Sean Johnson, so we can rule out DEI on this one. Now, being that he was at Siemens, let's take a look at recent activity, shall we? Siemens boosting investments by more than $10 billion for American manufacturing jobs, software, and AI infrastructure. BlackRock increases their stake in Siemens by over 5%, giving them more voting power on the board. Interesting. I just find it funny that every executive or CEO dealing with a catastrophe in the last 6 to 8 months, BlackRock had a stake in those companies. Not to mention, just late last year, Siemens was just found guilty for wire fraud against GE and Mitsubishi. It doesn't stop there. Also late last year, Siemens pled guilty to stealing confidential competitor information and settled for $104 million. They even got sued back in 2020 and had to pony up $89 million to a city in Mississippi over water meter mismanagement. Seems to be a lot of corruption going on. So the question is, what else did he know, being that they have a long laundry list of crimes and maybe they didn't want something to get out? Now, his whole bloodline just got wiped out in this crash, so he has no successors. So what's in his will? How much stock does he have? Where does his money go now? Seems like we have more questions than answers now, but what do you guys think is happening? Let me know below.
I dislike that this keeps happening to billionaires and millionaires. It's like every catastrophe now, I'm like, great, who was on board and who was the CEO? My condolences go out to the whole family. And stopping for a refuel with tourists on board, dude, that's like going to the gas station with a bus full of kids. Like, why would you do that?
This is crazy. A UFO true believer made a video game with input from allegedly real alien abductees. But he said that he was forced to shut it down after receiving threats from shadowy forces. What makes this more mysterious is that when being interviewed by the website PCGamer.com, he said that he couldn't answer too many questions. But what he did reveal is very interesting. The video game was called Universal Conquest, and the developer's name is listed as Reptilian Games. They said that the threats they received were credible and real, and they reported it to law enforcement, but they implied that law enforcement may be part of the problem. The developer said that the video game is no longer available for purchase, and they said that they don't have the money to fight something this large in court. They also said that they probably couldn't fight something this large in court regardless. So who was it that shut down the video game? Was it the Men in Black? The developer says that some of the information that was put into the video game wasn't supposed to be shared with the public. So they're implying that some of the information shared in the video game was of such earth-shattering significance that mysterious forces conspired to shut it down. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are these guys capping, or did the Men in Black make them shut down this video game.
I don't know how authentic this story is, but the government coming to shut down a video game, I don't really know. The fact that this dude got a couple of people that were actually abducted to like make recordings in the game, that's pretty cool. I'm just saying though, I would love to download and play this because I gotta see what's going on here.
Wait.
Okay, now just imagine it's
Unplugged. It is unplugged. Look.
No, like imagine it's unplugged and you're not touching it and then it just turns on.
Okay, now do it again.
Bro, what? What are they putting in these school lunches? At her age, I just figured out how to sharpen a pencil and then she's over here just turning on lights with her hands.
We have a very interesting sighting. This is coming out of Santa Monica, California, captured on March 25th. This gentleman was on the beach when he looked up and saw something unbelievable. What appears to be a UFO directly above the beach. Now, the interesting part about this one is I call these the Enoch UFOs because it's the one that looks just like the one described in the passage of Enoch. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen this. I've actually posted another video of one captured at night over Las Vegas. But my question is, why are UFO sightings increasing again? And have you noticed they're a lot closer, meaning you can literally see them right above us now? Is something changing? Take a look at this footage. Comment below. Tell me what you think.
So me and my husband come outside. I'm about to go to the store and we see this weird, it looked like hail to us at first. It rained last night and we were confused thinking, did it really rain, storm hard enough to hail? And when I got close to the car to get in, my foot kicked it and it's not ice. It's this gel. And it is only in the shade. In this area, there's some right there. And you can see the spots where it was sitting. There's a spot there. And all the way up to the steps, and once the sun hits it, in most spots it evaporates. So it just weirded us out. I've never seen anything like it. I thought it almost looks like the silica gel in a diaper, but these chunks are huge.
I feel like this has to do with some sort of geoengineering. It's either that or she got mad and ripped up a whole bunch of diapers because I'm pretty sure she said like this material is found in diapers for absorbing.
So around the world, they're discovering these Roman era mosaics underground. This one's in Italy, but then in other places of the world, they're finding them too. This one's in Croatia. I believe it's Croatia. I mean, they're underground. They built buildings and stuff on top of this. I think this is London. There's more. Like just in the city, they're just underground. And look at the detail of it. And the more they dig, the more they find them. How long does it take to lay these tiles? Like in Turkey here, even right on the water, even under the water, they're there. Does that say something about sea level, I guess? Climate change, or that won't be climate change. Well, whatever you think. Then in Syria too. So they're scattered around. I mean, and these are like Roman era tiles. They're pretty cool design. In Morocco, this one's detailed. And this one is deep.
That is so dumb, man. Look how beautiful this stuff is. Like, why would you ever want to build on top of this and let us never see it? That's crazy, man. The higher-ups really just want to erase history and rewrite it.
A bunny rabbit flew into the engine of a plane. Weird things are happening right now. And of course, it has to do with planes like usual. But I think this has a very, very deep meaning. Let's see what the news has to say about it real quick.
This is in mid-flight now, reportedly striking an animal when it took off, probably a bird. Sparks and flames seen coming out of the engine. Not clear what type of animal and or bird, but there are some reports it may have been a rabbit. You buying that? Thankfully, no one was injured.
Why in the world are people alleging, are they getting reports that it was a bunny rabbit? I have a really deep hunch. First off, this is no ill will to the church in any single way. I'm not judging you. But what are the odds a bunny is in the sky and gets in the engine of a plane further right before Easter?
Okay, if there is a literal hell on earth, it's gotta be this town. This is the highway nicknamed the Graffiti Highway that goes to Centralia, Pennsylvania. And further along, it starts to look like this because people have dumped dirt on the road so that you can't go there. The reason being that the entire town is on fire, and it has been for over 60 years. So the town itself was originally a coal mining town, and in 1962, on Memorial Day, they tried to burn their garbage and accidentally started a fire in the coal mine. The fire quickly spread throughout the entire coal mine, and there have been a bunch of attempts to flood the mine and cut off air supply and everything, but the fire is still burning today, and it's expected to burn for another like 250 years. The eternal underground fire has caused like a bunch of sinkholes and also releases a bunch of carbon monoxide, so the whole town has been evacuated. Well, except for 5 people who still live there. I don't know. Personally, I think going here might be on my bucket list though. I'm not joking. I actually really want to see this place and meet the people that still live there. Yeah, bro, this is my new side quest. If you want me to go, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll bring the beast.
I obviously would love to go here to see the town, but I really want to see that graffiti, bro. That's pretty cool. And this might sound dumb. Why don't they just fly a plane over it and just drop water over top of it like every other day? I know it's probably a lot of water wasted, but I'm just thinking here.
We are now one step closer to real holograms. Researchers out of Spain have developed the first interactive holographic technology, meaning this is a hologram you can touch. The kind you usually see in movies are what's called volumetric displays. They can be viewed from multiple angles, interacted with, and you don't need VR goggles. We've actually had some version of them for a while now. Even Disneyland uses them. But these are limited in a few ways. The main one being, you can't touch it. Most holograms work by using a diffuser, which is a kind of very thin screen. It moves up and down faster than our eyes can perceive and is timed just right with the projector, which is illuminating each layer of the image as the diffuser moves. The reason you can't interact with this is because the diffuser is thin and brittle and it's moving. If you touched it, it would probably break. This new hologram uses the same concept, except with elastic diffusers. To be fair, you are still limited in the sense that the straps are moving, but they don't hurt, they're very flexible. So you can select, trace, even move. A couple things. For one, the paper has not yet been peer reviewed, although the videos they've been posting of people interacting with it is pretty solid. Second, holograms are still in their infancy, and who knows if there'll ever be this version where you're essentially grabbing air because you're just interacting with light. But I'm sure I don't have to tell you the value behind this technology. Imagine learning open heart surgery in medical school, or how to assemble an engine, all without the parts and the risks. It's just so cool.
Man, the moment I can flick my wrist like this and just play and watch whatever I want is gonna be insane. The only time I can do that is when I wear my MetaQuest headset. And does anyone else notice how fast we're like progressively moving forward with all this stuff? I want my flying car.
Our generation might be cooked. So we just got the financial data from Coachella, and a staggering 60% of tickets this year were bought on finance. And it gets worse, because low-key, it's not even just a $600 festival ticket. We're kind of financing everything right now. See, a few years ago, it was largely the big-ticket items that cost thousands, like a TV, car, or computers. But in 2025, some of the companies that now offer buy now, pay later include DoorDash, Uber Eats, Shein, Target, and this one's crazy, even Chili's. Chili's. Bro, how are we getting into debt over our dinner? But it might not all be our fault. You see, usually when there's a cost of living crisis, people have to tighten up on unnecessary spending because you're kind of forced to choose between rent and a festival. But the Coachellas and the Ubers of the world, they put their heads together and they said, how do we still make money? So they said, okay, you can't afford $50 on dinner tonight. So how about we do just $5 over 10 weeks? And it has worked. Well, by 2023, more than half of Gen Z in the US used BNPL services. In 2024, the US spent more with BNPL than the top 4 countries around the world combined. And by 2027, it's projected $450 billion will be spent this way globally. But debt is debt. And now only 26% of Gen Z believe that they'll own a home by age 35. So the question is buy now, pay later just a trick to get us to spend money we don't have? Or a genuinely convenient tool that allows us to survive through a cost of living crisis?
Oh, would you look at that? Colonel Sanders was a Freemason. Don't believe me? Let's look at his tombstone. Do you see it? I'm gonna just zoom in a little bit for you. Look at that and look at that. Oh, but wait, there's more. Did you also know that he has a connection to the founder of Wendy's, Dave Thomas? Now, Davey here was actually adopted, born Rex David. And then his adopted mother passed away when he was 5 and led a vagabond life. A little excerpt here on his Find a Grave page on Dave Thomas's. It says, he eventually moved into a management position with KFC, where he met one of the greatest influences of his life, Colonel Hartland Sanders, KFC founder, in 1969. Now, Dave Thomas would have been 37. So I was like, I bet you. So I looked, and sure enough, there it is, straight from the Grand Lodge of Ohio's website. That's how they get you. They prey on the ones who were weak, the ones who were adopted, who were all messed in the head. And you guys did see that latest KFC commercial, right? The one that's making its rounds on TikTok.
I'm not gonna lie, that commercial was crazy. But I'm gonna go on a limb here and say there's no way they're using human meat.
I found this tree to be quite interesting because, as you can see on the left side of the tree, there's lots of fruit. But as we move over to the right side, there's hardly any, except for maybe a few sickly oranges over on this side. So I was wondering why this would be, and one possible reason is that right next to this side of the tree is a smart meter. So all day, every day, the smart meter is sending out pulses of microwave radiation just a couple feet from this side of the tree. So it's a pulse like that. And those.
That is crazy that a smart meter is causing this tree to literally grow half of its fruit. And if this is what it's doing to a tree, what is it doing to us? Because we're constantly near it all the time around our house. And I'm just saying, I feel bad for whoever's room is right there.
They've been cloning animals for quite a while. And in the hybrid programs that I was associated with, they were cloning not only species like plants and animals, but they were also regenerating tissues of extraterrestrials and growing them and then cloning them. And then they started cloning humans a very long time ago. It's interesting now that in the news, after talking about this a few times, that now they're coming forward. China just has been doing it forever, but in their underground facilities, cloning people and cloning, of course, you heard about, they cloned their first primate. And hey, they can clone a primate. This verifies what I'm talking about. They can definitely clone a human. And they're also growing humans for organs. And, there's a big controversy behind this. But clones are everywhere. Human, extraterrestrial, they're wandering all over. Some people will refer to these as doppelgangers because they can grow a human to look like someone and mind program and implant them with circuitry and things like this. And they will really think they had this life and implant them into a business or into whatever organization they want.
This dude's barriers are unstoppable. That is crazy. This whole section of Ridgely, Tennessee is completely flooded, and this dude's just living his life. That is wild. I have never seen this before. This man can go swimming with no problem. Can't go to the grocery store, but hey, at least your lights are on, I think.
Someone would have just communicated this better in high school. The trumpet's horn is creating specific waves due to the horn's geometry, tuning it to those waves. Guitar strings do the same thing with the thickness of the wire and how long they're stretched across the guitar. You record that, the camera's frame rate will show you what's going on, like the trumpet with the fire. How fast the wave is going determines the note you hear. That's in music. Color works exactly the same way. Geometry creates the harmonic relationship between all waves. The waves fit perfectly inside each other. That's the harmonic series. Our best architecture and nature's best architecture use that principle. To understand that, you have the master key to U2. Their genius was conveying concepts of light and sound through a building. Organ, piano. If you know how that works, you can play pretty much any instrument. They all work the same. Those harmonics work the same in electromagnetism. You can map each color of the rainbow to an electromagnetic frequency. And like the prism, it can be manipulated using geometry. You learn by experiencing. It makes sense why things like EDM are improving people's mental health. It's literally reconnecting you with that.
You guys want to see a glitch in the Matrix?
Hi, bud.
This bird has not moved in like 3 minutes, guys. It's just sitting here. Look at this. Watch this, guys. Okay, walk by it. Walk by it. Go walk by the bird. Go close. Look at this. Watch this, guys. Just walking right by it. It's stuck. It's stuck. Oh my gosh.
Guys, it's stuck.
It's stuck. That's crazy.
Let's be honest, we all know why the bird is acting like that. It's because it didn't recharge itself on the power lines. But I wonder if the bird like ran into the door or something and is just chilling because it's stunned, because I saw the eye twitching, so I know it's alive.
I've never seen in my whole life seen so many music stars just start normal and then start looking like satanic. And that's when I was really like, this is tripping me out.
Right.
Pop people. Doja Cat. She's a nice girl from the valley. Sam Smith. Justin Timberlake's last video. And I talked to a lot of people in the music business, and they talk about how the frequency of music changed in the early 40s to different megahertz and how it can be hypnotic.
That's crazy. So you figured out the frequency that can like make people hypnotized, but you sit there and use it for evil. Why? Like, let's go back to the frequency of when we hit bells for healing. You know what I'm talking about? But that's so true, man. All of them start out completely normal and they end up being like that.
I am so excited to share this video with you because I have to tell you, this is not the first time that witnesses have captured an unidentified sea creature in these waters. And this is Vancouver, BC, Canada. And about a year ago, another witness captured something similar, of something massive, big, moving rapidly in the water with a huge wake, but they couldn't tell what it was. And again, this witness captured the same thing, but fast forward to February 11th, 2025. Now it's leaving people really questioning, what is this thing? This is the second time a witness has seen something like this, and we have no answers. Some want to say maybe it's a submarine. From the reports that I've read, there are reportedly no submarines in that area. People have said maybe a well. It could be a well, but is it? It looks like whatever it is, it has a slight hump on it. But are there wells in that area? You tell me. Take a look at this footage. Tell me what you think.
What? That's dangerous.
Should I turn around? I guess I just go. Okay, that's scary.
I've never seen anything like that.
What? We're literally going behind the waterfall. Holy cow.
Oh. Why is it so? I feel like that's never been like that.
I mean, that's insane. That literally would push a car right down. Oh my gosh. This is scary. Remind me not to go this way back home. Look at the road. Oh, look at this.
Oh my.
Wow, this is really dangerous.
Yeah, oh, look, that's even about to go. We're videoing this whole thing.
What? Look at all this right here.
This road's gonna flood.
Yeah, they probably need to close this road. I'm surprised the police aren't here yet. Look at that. Okay, that was scary.
I was wondering why.
Why is everybody...
I'm not gonna lie, I would have never drove under that, only because I'm scared of that part that the waterfall is going over is just break away. And say it did break away and how hard that water's pushing, like she said, it would just push a car right off. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need that. Alright guys, that's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching the clips today. And if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.